Myra's journey to light and friendship. In the heart of an enchanted forest, where whispering trees told old stories and hidden clearings shone with unseen magic, there lived a young elf named Myra. Her home, tucked into the curve of a giant oak tree, was beautiful, with windows that twinkled in the moonlight, and a door decorated with detailed patterns of leaves and flowers. Myra, with her sparkling violet eyes and hair like silver moonlight, was known all over the forest for her gentle nature and magic touch that helped plants grow. But Myra had a secret worry that made her sad. She found it very hard to share things with others, even her favorite toys. This made playing with friends difficult, as she often kept her special things to herself, leaving her feeling lonely at times. One bright morning, as Myra sat thinking by a chattering stream, her friend Melody, a talking bluebird with feathers as blue as the sky, fluttered down beside her. "Myra," he sang, "you're not the only one who finds sharing tough, but remember, sharing makes play more fun for everyone." "I wish I could be like Rosie," Myra thought to herself. Rosie was another elf who had learned to share all she had, and now she was always surrounded by friends. If Rosie can do it, maybe I can too, she hoped. Despite her worry, Myra longed to join in the great elf game, a magical competition where everyone shared their toys to create the biggest play castle the forest had ever seen. But the idea of parting with her toys, even for a little while, filled her with fear. "How can I join in if I can't share?" she wondered sadly. Myra knew deep down that she had the heart to share and work together. She remembered how easy it was for her to lend a hand when a friend needed it, like the time she helped Melody find his lost nest. Sharing should be just like helping, she thought. Why does it feel so difficult? The crystal flower's message. One sunny afternoon, as Myra and Melody were playing hide and seek among the ferns, they came across a small shimmering crystal flower. Its petals, soft as silk, bloomed with rainbow light when kindness was shared. "Look, Melody! What's this?" Myra exclaimed, curious. As they looked at the flower, Melody noticed a tiny writing on its stem, almost hidden. With a little joke, he said, "Maybe it's a secret message from the forest, saying, 'Tickle Melody for a surprise.'" They both laughed, but then Myra found the real message. It says, "Find the heart of sharing in a magical clearing. Your journey starts with a single kind deed." Another message appeared, glowing in the light. "This quest will heal the rifts that gloom has created, keeping the forest divided." Myra and Melody knew this was no ordinary flower. It was a call to adventure. This journey might help me learn to share and make the forest a happier place, Myra thought, feeling a spark of hope. So, Myra and Melody set off on their quest, singing a song they made up about sharing and being kind. "Together we share, together we care, our hearts light as air, in kindness we dare," they sang, their voices blending with the sounds of the forest. As they journeyed, Myra shared her worries with Melody. "I'm a little worried I won't be able to share when the time comes," she confessed. Melody squeezed her hand and replied, "We'll face it together, Myra. I know you can do it." Their path took them to a fork in the road, unsure of which way to go. Just then, the crystal flower glowed brightly, leading them to the left path with its radiant light. "Looks like our guide has made the choice for us," Myra said, smiling. With the flower guiding them, Myra and Melody ventured deeper into the enchanted forest, their hearts full of hope and excitement. The journey had just begun, and already Myra could feel the magic of sharing starting to warm her heart. Lessons along the way. As Myra and Melody ventured deeper into the enchanted forest, guided by the glowing crystal flower, the trees seemed to lean in, whispering secrets and old stories. The air was filled with the scent of wildflowers and the sound of leaves rustling like the pages of a magical book, turning in the wind. They were on a path they had never taken before, one that felt both exciting and a little bit scary. Their first encounter was in a clearing where the sun danced through the leaves, creating patterns of light and shadow on the ground. Here, they met a wise old turtle named Tilly, with a shell as green as moss and eyes that sparkled with kindness. Tilly was trying to share her berries with a group of rabbits, but they couldn't decide who should get the biggest one. Sharing isn't just about giving away what you have, Tilly explained, her voice as soft as a lullaby. It's about making sure everyone feels happy and included. Myra watched as Tilly divided the berries, so each rabbit got an equal share, and then they all enjoyed their snack together, laughing and chatting. I wish I could do that, thought Myra, feeling a warm glow in her heart. The crystal flower shimmered and turned into a small glowing berry, showing the lesson of fairness and the joy of sharing. Myra felt a tug at her heart, a desire to share as Tilly did. As they left the clearing, a gentle breeze guided them to their next encounter. The forest opened to reveal a sparkling stream where they met a group of fish, each with scales that shone in every color. The fish were playing a game, taking turns to jump over a small waterfall, but one little fish was too scared to try. Myra and Melody watched as the other fish encouraged the little one, saying, "We'll do it together. Sharing our bravery makes us all stronger." Together, they helped the little fish over the waterfall, cheering and splashing in delight. Myra realized sharing wasn't just about things. It's about sharing moments and bravery too. The crystal now shone with a soft, warm light, showing the warmth of shared bravery and joy. Myra held it close, feeling its warmth spread through her. Their journey led them to a grove where glowing flowers hung from the trees, each one humming with its own tune. Here, they found a group of birds, each trying to sing louder than the others. The noise was beautiful, but chaotic, until a quiet bird suggested, "If we share the melody, taking turns and listening to each other, our song will be even more beautiful." As they sang together, their voices creating a beautiful blend, Myra was moved by the harmony. Sharing creates harmony, she thought, joining in the song. The crystal turned into a musical note, its tune harmonious and sweet, reminding them that sharing can create beautiful music, in both literal and metaphorical senses. The heart of the forest. Finally, they arrived at the heart of the forest, where the trees were the tallest and the magic the strongest. Here, in a clearing bathed in moonlight, they found Gloom, his presence making the air cold. He was trying to keep the forest's magic for himself, his cloak soaking up the light. Myra, feeling braver than ever, stepped forward. "Gloom, the forest's magic isn't just for you, it's for everyone. When we share it, it grows stronger. Let us show you." To their surprise, Gloom hesitated, then nodded. Together, they spread the magic among the trees, the animals, and the plants. The forest shone with a light brighter than ever before, and Gloom, no longer a shadow, became a keeper of the shared magic. The crystal flower turned back to its original form, its petals shining with the light of shared magic. Myra felt deep joy, knowing she had learned to share and work together, not just with her toys, but with her bravery, her moments, and her heart. As they left the magical clearing, the forest itself seemed to celebrate, opening a path that led them back to the edge of the forest, where their adventure had begun. Myra and Melody, their hearts light and full of joy, knew the lessons of sharing and cooperation would stay with them forever, lighting the way in dark times. The journey back was full of laughter and songs about their adventure. As they reached Myra's home, the crystal flower placed in her room, they knew the magic of sharing would keep growing, just like the flower, with each kind act and moment of teaming up. Homecoming and legacy. As Myra and Melody made their way back through the enchanted forest, the trees swayed in a soft dance, whispering words of praise. "You've done well, Myra," they seemed to say, their leaves rustling in a gentle clap. The journey home was magical, The air shone with the joy of their new understanding of sharing and teaming up. "I feel different, Melody," Myra said, amazed, "like I've discovered a secret power within me. Sharing makes play more fun for everyone. I am giving and kind. Sharing creates good friendship," Myra thought, repeating the positive words she had learned on her journey. Each step towards home made her heart lighter, her worries about sharing disappearing like morning mist under the sun. As they neared Myra's home, the giant oak tree seemed even more welcoming than before. Its branches stretched out as if to hug them, and the windows glittered with a warm light. The garden was full of colourful flowers dancing in the breeze. Even the birds sang a bit happier, welcoming them back. Suddenly, the air shimmered, and there, on the path, was a being wrapped in soft silver light. It was the guardian of the forest, a mystical being who looked after all. "Myra, Melody," the guardian said, her voice musical, "you have brought light to the darkest parts of the forest. You have learned the true magic of sharing and working together. Well done." Feeling proud, Myra smiled. "I enjoy sharing with my friends. Sharing makes me a great friend. My friends like it when I share," she thought, the positive words now a part of her. Back at home, Myra reached for her favorite toy, pausing for a moment. But remembering her journey, the positive words, and the joy of sharing, she offered it to Melody with a smiling. "Let's play together," she said. The next day, Myra organized a game in the forest, inviting all her friends. She shared her toys effortlessly, her heart filled with happiness. The laughter and joy in the air were the best rewards she could ask for. Melody, perched above, sang a song of friendship and sharing, his voice spreading far and wide. As Myra grew, she stayed kind and giving, known all over the forest, not just for her magic with plants, but for her big heart. One sunny afternoon, Myra saw a young elf facing the same trouble she once did. Sitting beside her, Myra shared her story, her voice gentle and hopeful. "Sharing makes play more fun for everyone," she said, passing on the positive words and tips she had learned. Years passed, and Myra became a wise and loved guardian of the forest, her life a proof of the power of sharing and working together. She often thought back to her adventure, a smile on her face. "I learned to share, and it changed everything," she thought, her heart grateful. Myra's legacy was one of light and love, her story a lasting example of the magic that happens when we open our hearts to share with others.